when we get started today, I actually would like to do, I'll call it a breathing technique. It's actually, as we add on, it's something very simple, because when people talk about meditation, they get scared. It's like, what, you want me to sit there for an hour not doing anything? But the fact is, actually as simple as a 1-minute breathing technique will actually already start to help you to be more calmer, more relaxed, and the outcome is you're going to be more focused for the following hours for you to stay focused on the work. So are you guys ready to do this? Yeah. Okay. So what I'll do is actually ask you guys to close your eyes and listen to my instruction, and we'll go through I'll take it slower. As I said, even if it's a minute, I'm going to take it to about 3 to 5 minutes as we practice this. So on Friday, we'll be adding on extra. I will add on this on Friday. Okay. Now, when you're ready, let's just make yourself sit comfortably. And for those who are watching replay, please do not watch this while you're driving. Okay, let's close our eyes and make yourself sit comfortably. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. It's time for you to relax. If there's anything coming to your mind, you can either let them stay or let them go. It's time for you to relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now let's take notice to your feet. Wiggle your toes a little bit and relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now let's take notice to your hand. Loosen your fingers and relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, let's take notice to your tummy. Loosen it and relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now let's take notice to your shoulder. Let them drop as low as possible to the ground and relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now let's take notice to your mouth and your jaw. By relaxing them, give your mouth a little bit apart and relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's take notice to your whole body. Let it sink as deep as possible into your chair and relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, when you're ready for your next intake breath, breathe in as deep as possible and hold it right there. And let it go when you can't hold it anymore. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, when you're ready for your next intake breath, breathe in as deep as possible and hold it right there. And let it go when you can't hold it anymore. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. When you're ready, take one more deep breath in and hold it right there. And let it go when you can't hold it anymore. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Right. When you're ready, you might come back into the room. How was that? Notice any difference? Denise, sorry, I can't hear you. You're on mute. So Marjolein, how was that for you?
Good, thank you. Fantastic.
So it's a very basic technique, but what I brought you guys through is each part of your body that where we hold our attention. And the trick is when we stop taking intake breath, our brain will start quickly notice like, how come you're not taking oxygen as regularly as you're supposed to? So they slow down your function of your body. They don't shut down. If we shut down, if our brain shut us down, means we're dead. But when we slow down our oxygen intake, immediately the brain will say, that's an alert. So it brings you to slowing down other functions. So especially the automatic thought. If we often have all those automatic thought, they will kind of have to stay aside. So your brain would not be like doing all those automatic thought. So if you guys have, especially when you go to sleep, not necessarily when you have suffered from insomnia, lie in bed, bring your body to the state of you actually can feel that it's like kind of like floating. When you're relaxed, you can feel your body a bit floating, and practice that 3 deep breaths, holding it, and I'll guarantee you that you will fall asleep. Okay. Now, Denise, do you have any question? How come you can't unmute yourself? Yeah, I just ask you unmute again, and then you should be able to. All right. Okay. So, yep, you can, would you like to say something, Denise? Any feedback for the relaxation technique?
Oh, it's something I do quite often. So, yeah, it's nice though.
I can see your body going straight into the form because you practice it quite often. Yeah.
Daily.
Definitely. Excellent. Now, are there any questions from day one or any of the practices that you've been going through?
It's all very clear.
Fantastic. So today we're going to look at how we're going to connecting our body and our soul, which is our mind, emotion, and will. All right. So what are your experience regarding your mind, your emotion, and your willpower?
Infliction.
Confliction. Are they all three in conflictions, or often which one come up with as a more confliction?
Willpower and the mind.
Willpower and the mind. Give us more. Give us what is the willpower and the mind going into conflict, having a conflict.
Mostly about chocolate or about getting motivated and doing what's on my to-do list and just stuff like that. And yes, yeah, a little bit of self-loathing, I suppose.
Okay. So the mind wanting to do so much, with different things, but the willpower is like, it's not strong. It's like, oh, it's too much. I can't get started. Would that be the case?
Like that.
Okay. So since you've been practicing the breathing technique, do you do it once, or how many times you do it on a daily basis?
It depends. Some days I do it more when I have a moment. I can just breathe. I do it. I do a lot of centering breathing when I'm driving, which is not meditating, so don't worry about that. But I'm often very joyful just looking at Mother Nature, the clouds, the sky, the trees. Here in Darwin, there are an awful lot of trees. So I just find myself relaxing into breathing. So kind of like an awake meditation or alert meditation. Yeah, I do that a lot, and that centers me.
Exactly. Sounds like it's a lot of like mindfulness. So we put different exercise with different names, but at the end of the day is, the breathing within our human body is going to help us to slow down. So what I can hear is I'll encourage you to actually, even on your smartphone, set an alarm at least 3 times a day. It's not like when I have time, because remember, I don't know, have you guys seen of those demonstration in a big vase? You put a big rock in, then you put a small rock in, then you put the sand, and the professor will ask, do you think I still can pour more water in? And that's, you can continue to feel that. So that's kind of like our modern day people is that, yeah, we have all these different things, but we always can put more. That's where our mind is boggling. And our will, which means like, with our emotions, like, I'm tired. I'm tired. Even I know there's so much to do. And sometimes it's just a simple task to send a text message to a friend. You feel like, oh, it is challenging. Okay. So when we understand that, how we're going to help ourselves to be more calmer and more, I think the inner connection means there's more inner confidence, knowing our ability and moving forward, because you both ladies are very confident in your own right. But however, our mind often seems like opposite to our willpower or emotion. Anyone experience that? Like the mind want to do something, but I don't feel like it. Or I don't have the will to keep going. We're almost getting there, but the last minute is like, I don't care anymore. Anyone could identify with that? Okay. So, you have, like both of you have done the journaling, but the 2 millimeter shift is be realistic. The 3 intention, if it's more than 1 hour per intention, we need to be really breaking it down for us to take into action. Because putting 3 hours into invest in ourselves doesn't mean that we stop doing the cleaning in the kitchen, stop cooking in the kitchen, stop socializing, or there's other responsibility. Then we need to be realistic. It's like, how could we help ourselves each morning to get grounded, to set our mind, our will, and our emotion ready to take on the day. So is the first thing first is invest in ourselves. And any of you have gone onto the airplane lately? The air hostess demonstrate, if you need to put the air, if there's any emergency, you put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you help anyone. So that's a very good reminder for us, isn't it? Exactly. Good. All right, then. So I love telling story, and I love looking at different things to help us to get more understanding how we are going to do that. So as I said, connecting our body and our soul. I would like you guys to watch a video. You might have watched it, but I think seen it before, be it the Japanese. Just hang on a second. Let me share screen. It will be about 6 minutes, but it will be good as a good reminder how our body works. Just give me a moment. It seems like, yeah. Now, could you guys see the YouTube? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. The first 30 seconds have no sound, but it'll come afterwards.
Bit fast.
Sorry?
It's looking. This next series of photographs are the work of Japanese researcher Mr. Masaru Emoto from his book, The Message from Water. Mr. Emoto's work provides factual evidence that human vibrational energy, thoughts, words, ideas, and music affect the molecular structure of water. Please remember that water comprises over 70% of a mature human body and covers the same amount on our planet. Water is the very source of all life. This photo shows the beautifully formed geometric design of the Yushi Spring water. This next photo is from the Shimanto River, the last clean spring in Japan. Notice the extraordinary geometric forms. The fact that the molecular structure of water can be affected by our consciousness, our intent, and our sounds is extremely important. This photo is from the Mount Cook Glacier in New Zealand. Mr. Emoto has been visually documenting these molecular changes in water by means of his photographic techniques. He freezes droplets of water, then examines them under a dark field microscope that has photographic capabilities. His work clearly demonstrates the diversity of the molecular structure of water and the effects of the environment upon the structure of the water. This photo is from the fountain in Lourdes, France. This photo is from contaminated water from the Yodo River in Japan. In this photo, we can compare the contaminated water with clean stream water. Look at the difference. Mr. Emoto decided to see what effects music would have upon the structure of water. He placed distilled water between two speakers for several hours while playing different music and then photographing the crystals that formed after the water was frozen. This photo is of water being exposed to Beethoven's Pastorale. This photo is the effect of Bach's Air for the G string on the water. This photo is water exposed to Chopin's Farewell Song.
That.
This next photo is water being exposed and affected to music that was designed for healing. This photo is of water being exposed to the Kawachi folk dance. This photo shows the effect of heavy metal music upon the water. Here now we can compare the effects of healing versus heavy metal music and what happens to the water molecules. Mr. Emoto decided to see how thoughts and words affected the formation of untreated distilled water crystals by typing words onto paper and then taping this paper onto glass bottles overnight. This photo shows the effects of the words, "Thank you." This next photo shows the effects of the words, "love" and "appreciation." This photo shows the effects of the words, "You make me sick, I will kill you." And here we can compare the effects of thank you with the you make me sick, I will kill you. Very, very different geometric forms being incurred through the intention. Now this photo is of a very polluted and toxic water from the Fujiwara Dam. Here now is the same water from the Fujiwara Dam after a Buddhist monk had offered a prayer over it. Prayer, that sound coupled with intention, seems to have an extraordinary ability of restoring water to its natural, harmonious, geometric symmetry. And in this photo, we can compare the toxic water and then the effects of praying over the water. It's really quite impressive. These photographs that we have just seen show proof that not only does sound have the ability of affecting and changing physical structure, but that with regard to the molecular structure of water, that our intent with our sound is extremely important. This may have great implications for the future of both personal and planetary harmony and healing.
Okay. Oh,
Hey, I don't think I need to introduce myself.
just let me turn off the Google. All right, Miss. Oh, Marjolaine just dropped off, so she might be coming back. Okay, what do you think?
Oh, yes, I've heard this before, and it's a lovely reminder. Thank you. Yeah, and I do play some healing music, healing sounds and frequencies often, but just a reminder to do it perhaps a bit more often. I've stopped listening to things like the news and the radio and whatever, and yeah.
It's a good reminder, isn't it? Okay, let me double check what happened with Marjolaine. If she, okay, all right. So what will happen is, what are these going to link up to our body and our soul?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right. Now, if you need a moment, we can wait just in case Marjolaine is like coming
No,
back.
I'm just thirsty. I just need a cup of tea.
Yeah, get a cup of tea. I will let her back in.
Here we go.
She is in the waiting room. Yeah. You're right. Wait for her audio. You okay? You just dropped off, isn't it?
Oh, someone rang me and I was trying to hang them up, but I accidentally hung us up too.
That's all right.
I love that somebody else does crazy things like I do.
It's not crazy. It's like, oh, press the button and it disappear. Anyway, so yes, it's a good reminder, isn't it? Because Dr. Emoto has been around for a long time. Okay, but what it is going to teach us about our body and our soul, and our emotion and our will, is thoughts and words. And what is it going to be made out of? And the most important, he mentioned, what are the percentage of our body are actually contained of water? Or
70%.
70%. Right.
Yeah, I sort of I know that to be 75%, but I must have missed out just that little bit when he was saying it. Yeah, but it's a lot of our body's made out of water. 75.
It depends on which school of thought that you came from, a medical perspective, or telling us. I believe it's between 70 to 80%. And some school will teach it's only 60%. But imagine, you know, we only have 60% of liquid in our body, will be so dry up. Okay, but more important is about, what do we say to ourselves? Do we send love? Do we say, oh, that's okay when we're making mistake. Oh, that's okay, Catherine. It's only a minor mistake. Let's start again. It's all right. Or it's like, oh, stupid. How could I make such a stupid mistake? Which one would you
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first.
put? Fantastic. And then how would you feel then after you say it's okay to make mistake?
Great. Well, you feel a lot more encouraged than saying negative words, because negative words like death, words that are not healing, is death to your body, really.
Exactly. That's very good. So glad that you guys on this journey. So how are your thoughts? How would your positive or negative thought map to your emotion?
Well, that has the same impact, doesn't it?
It does. It does. So this is a scientific evidence-based proven what could we do to our body with our positive thought and positive language and positive feelings as well. All right. And both of you are so good, like, on this journey already, that when you woke up, what would be your first thought? What would be your first feeling that you bring in to set yourself up? And that's why I said meditation is very important, because when we woke up, we still are in the alpha state, the brainwave. So when we set a positive intention, which means it's going to set us up positively for the day. All right. So what is it that we are going to bring to before we go to bed then? That's why one of the practice we say reflection and gratitude in the evening. What kind of advantage will then set for you for the evening when you go to rest, when you practice your reflection and gratitude? What do you think, ladies?
It would give you much peace to rejuvenate throughout the night, to rejuvenate every cell in your body, so that you have that complete rest and start the day with actual positive cells. Because if we don't throughout the night, then you're starting always in the back burner.
So when we practice gratitude, when we practice, having reflection of what we've done well for the day, that is going to help us to have this positive cycle, isn't it? Because how many of you actually listen to your friends that they can't sleep because they lie in bed and worry about what might happen or what have happened on the day, right? Because in the modern world, we're so busy holding our phone every day until the time that we go to bed, that's the quiet time. Then your thought come in, then the negative thought come in. Okay. And I'm so glad you both of you already on the path of knowing how we're going to nurture ourselves. So you guys heard of the Harveker, Harveker, The Secret of Millionaire's Mind.
What was that? Sorry.
ARV, Eager, EKER, The Secret of Millionaire Mind. So as he said that, the simple things done over a long period of time that would give you permanent and constant result. So our practices of setting intention, taking action, and reflection is going to help us to continue with positive thoughts, feelings, actions, and results.
So action, reflection,
Thoughts, feelings, actions, and result.
Oh,
So this is what he's
yeah.
think, how we feel, how we're going to take action, and we produce permanent results. So this is, the science of discipline. Because our thoughts are powerful, but not as powerful as our emotions. Okay. Possibly right now that you guys, since you have been on the path for, on this searching of, the higher power, your emotion might not have consumed you in the last 6 months compared to the past, before you discover the new awakening. And I'm on the right path as I sense where you guys are at right now. Your emotion your negative emotion do not consume you. Because some of the
They don't consume, but they do drift on in.
Okay, how does that drift on in, Denise? Would you like?
When you lower your resistance, really, I suppose, like when you're tired, fatigued in a situation that you don't want to deal with, and emotions take over.
Mm, What would you like to do about that when emotion take over?
I'd really like to just go out into the garden here and disappear.
Okay, that's what we call self-care, isn't it? When you feel the overwhelm, when emotion overtaking our rational thought, is it means that our brain, the neural pathway, is like overloaded. Then where you go out to the garden, especially if you could walk barefooted to ground yourself, to connect to the earth and water, immediately you can feel the energy just shifted. The earth could actually take away those negative feelings, thoughts, and emotion. And I'm so glad you know one of these secrets already. Because for us, we are too busy of trying to call my friends to talk about it. Oh, I just have to, go and watch a movie and distract myself. Okay, so that is something for us to understand that. Moreover, I'm sure you all know about Joe Dispenza, that when he talk about it, our heart and our mind, we need to be more connected. Okay, and I'm sure you ladies also be aware of the gut as well, the 3 intelligence center in our body. But today we focus on more about our heart and our mind. All right, so basically, Marjolein has mentioned about, the frequency, the energy. So how are we going to manifest, our dreams to come true? It's very much our thought and our heart would need to be able to understand how to join together to send out the positive message to the universe or to the higher power, or Marjolein is actually a believer as well, that we pray to our God to come to that fruition. And therefore being curious about what are the outcome would be. Because often, how many of us will thought of, oh, I would love to have a 6-figures business. But you often come to a conclusion is, who are you to achieve that in a general setting? But how often, I would like to hear from you guys, what is it that for you, when you wanted to achieve a goal, what would that be that you actually thought of that you cannot?
Can you ask that question again? Sorry, I didn't understand it.
When you set an intention, of having a thought, what you would like to achieve, what will be often the first thought that comes through to your mind? What will be the first thought? When you're wanting something, what will be your first thought come to your mind?
How is that going to happen?
How? Anyone else?
It's only me, so I'm just still thinking. Oh, I probably would think, honestly, I would think, is it God's will for me to achieve it? If it is, then I go for it. If it's not, because I was thinking while you were saying that at the start, sometimes doing less is best, is just resting and waiting on the Lord to rise up above the wings of eagles, instead of rushing and just doing and doing and doing and not really knowing if that's the perfect path. So yeah, I think it's not a matter of how, for me, it's more the question, is that path for me, the 6-figure income in that direction? Because you can get 6-figure income in a lot of direction, but which direction, I would say the question would be for me anyway.
So another question for you is, what is it that you think, whether it's well, in the Christian sense, is it God's will? Is it God's will for me to go down this path for my 6-figures business? Is that correct?
Probably, and not really going for the 6 figures because that's going to make a difference to me. It's more, just being content regardless of the 6 figures income, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. just a testing. Is that my sound better now? I just realized that this time is on my computer instead of my microphone.
Yeah, it's better
Is
now.
it
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I can see you guys moving forward. It's like, what's happening? It's like, I'm sorry, is the technology supposed to make it easier? But it was actually depends on my computer microphone. Now it's much clearer, much louder, right? Next time remind me, because sometimes when you set it up, it's supposed to be automatically on the setting, but they don't. Okay. All right. Good. But my challenge for you, Marjolina, just thinking, how did you have this first thought that you would like to have a 6 figures business?
I'm not saying I did. So
Oh, okay.
my aim is not to, that's what I was, you asked the question, and I don't think money is ultimately the answer. The 6 figures income is not for me to say, oh, that's where I want to be. I think, in my situation, I built a community unconditionally. So the money came, but it's not 6 figures, but that's very satisfying for me to build community, especially during last lockdown, especially during the last 2 years, where the whole society was meant to separate. And so my mission is to bring, so I often have 40 people at an event at my house. So for me, it's a very, not aiming for money so much, but aiming for my mission in life, I guess.
Would you like to share about your mission in life?
Well, I that's just my belief, and it's just been on the road. I feel like I can connect with people very quickly, and I connected with you, Catherine, very quickly. We were at a function in Queensland. I don't know where we were, but I feel like for some reason I can get very deep very quickly, and also feel that I can offer something to someone. So my mission is to do his will for me, and that is to, feed his people, do his work. And right now, there's a lot of people not mentally well. So for this last year, as I was saying to you, I couldn't get onto the 7 days, not because I couldn't, because I was finishing off and I'm still just at the last bit now, which is really good. A course called Anointed to Soar, and really combining it with my raindrop technique, where people getting healed with oils and their emotions and setting people free. And of course, money comes with that because I charge, but it's more than that for me.
Yeah. Well, that's something that we will need to continue to work on, that you'll be actually get paid for your values. So it's not money is not important. Money is important. Money gives us choice, but it's not everything. Money can't buy everything. Because a fulfillment, excuse me. Let me drink. Okay. So for both of you ladies, you already know your mission in life. Sometimes
No, I
it's
don't.
just
I have
don't.
no idea.
Okay.
No idea what my mission in life is.
Okay. But you're on the path of healing. Am I on the better, description for where you are, Denise? Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay. But you both have started this journey of awakening. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sometimes it is just going back to the basic and being accountable to someone and where you're heading. Okay. Because for me, I have a lot of data in working with ladies or, working with people for the past 20 years. So in a setting like this, it's more, I speak more generalized. But again, in a smaller group, this is where I can give you guys more attention of your needs. So this is what we are going to talk more about. Our body and our soul is going back to the science of discipline. What are we going to do when we have negative thought? I cannot tell you that you can get rid of your negative thought. But when we are more aware, is the negative will come with a negative neural pathway as we build.
because from 0 to 7, I'm going to show you the chart later. From 0 to 7, we're like a piece of blank paper. What your parents, what the society tell you, you take on, and it become your belief. Okay, but it doesn't mean that we cannot reduce that. It will, once the neural pathway form, we can't get rid of them. It will be still there. But when we form more positive neural pathway, it's like a bank balance. The more positive you become, the negative it become less. But sometimes in life, when something happens, all this will spunk up. It's not that you fail, but it's just sometimes it's a life circumstances, the environment. So it's the awareness of how we balance this. And therefore the discipline of setting your intention, taking action and reflection, that will help you to balance this. And that's one of the signs of discipline is taking action and being disciplined. Okay. So what are the benefits of being disciplined is helping you to improve your working memory. How many of us actually in the past woke up, even you have a 10 hours sleep, you could wake up and feel like still like a zombie, that walking with your physical body without a soul. It just haze. It's just point blank with your mind because while we sleep, our brain didn't get to have a proper rest. Therefore, we could put things down on paper and leave it be. Our brain will truly to get a proper refreshment and renewal each night. And actually, it's going to help you to improve your impulse control as well, and thinking or cognitive flexibility and adaptability. Okay, so it's going to help you to be more flexible and adaptable in your thinking, in your mindset. So what I'm going to show you is I want to show you this one. Are you guys familiar with the iceberg model? The 5% of our conscious mind and 95% is underwater subconscious mind and the unconscious mind. Have you guys seen this model before?
Yes.
Yes. Good. All right. So often what we struggle with, okay, is our willpower and our mind, isn't it? As Denise mentioned. But where we want to get to is about our higher self that we live on, general observation of our everyday life, and learn about not reacting. It's more about the intuition of what's really happening. And how many of us now actually say, if someone has been rude to you, instead of reacting, your mind or your thought will be like, I wonder how his day or her day has been. It might not be the most wonderful day that she has been. That's why she had this reaction to me. Any one of you would have had that thought nowadays, because when you encounter someone being rude to you, you have more compassion because you have been on this journey of awakening, that you have more compassion for people.
Yes.
So therefore, as our high self, we would like to be more often that live in joy and love on a daily basis. But this is a journey. On day one, I mentioned that it's not a goal that to be our high self to experience love and joy, but it's more about our goal is to get to as a destination. And along the way, we collect the love and experience joy in our everyday life. Okay. All right. So often, our behaviors, our action are impacted by our emotion and values in our subconscious, our personal belief, our cultural belief, how we project onto others, or own identity or own image, or what we have experienced, fears, imagination, habits, and all the memory, and the needs, and some of the resistance, and some of the wants. And then what is actually happening is deep down, without us ourselves knowing, is the past trauma or violence or secret or shame and guilt that we have experienced early in life. Often this, at this level, trauma is not necessarily you have to experience like, abuse, but often trauma could be one of the emotional trauma that you experience. Maybe your mom or your dad or teacher said something to you. How could you be so lazy? How could you be so dumb? That's just an example. Now, any question for this model? So how is that going to link to your current behavior? Okay. We could do something, exercise together. Anyone would like to do this exercise with me?
What is it?
What is it? It's more about maybe for you, Denise, maybe you say, you know, your willpower and emotion of not your willpower and mind. Your mind is possibly more likely is your beliefs that go opposite to each other. Would you like to pick an example?
Well, you have to work hard to make money is a belief, but it's not necessarily true. You need to just work smarter and be
Hmm. So this is your
not necessarily striving for six-figure incomes like we were talking about before. It's
so consciously it's like more your belief, right? That's correct. Is I believe I need to work very hard in order to get my income. Not necessarily six-figure, but more comfortable at a level for you to live comfortably. Because I am, as you say, you know, everyone's admiring you that you're actually living a nomad, you know, style of traveling around Australia. And that's wonderful.
that costs money.
It costs money. It does. But that's why I say, you know, money is not evil. We cannot do without money. However, money gives us choice, but it's how is it going for us to obtain it. So your belief is to work hard to make money. So it's consciously you're thinking about that. But this is a belief, isn't it? As you said.
Yeah. Yes, it's not the way I want to be, and it's not the way I am either at the moment.
Well, if we could shift your belief, it possibly will be easy to help you to see that money is just like air. Money is an energy. When we believe that's plentiful for us and that's plentiful for everyone, we are not in competition. It will be flowing to you.
Money comes in, money goes out.
Well, that is also a belief too. If you
Okay.
think about money is your friend, would you like your friend to stay longer with you? And would you like to multiply?
Not
your
always. Not
Mm,
always. No.
mm,
No, I want some alone time, and I want to spend time with other friends as well, not just the one friend.
Yep. But if we describe money as a friend, what would you like your friend do?
Just to pop in on a daily basis, that'd be nice.
Isn't that nice to pop in and see how you're doing? Would you like more? Like when money comes in, would you like more? How would you react to that or respond to that?
Yes, more would be nice.
Mm, mm. But when you say that in your thought, do you feel that that's actually would be nice, or do you feel that is it possible?
Oh, it's a very interesting question, because I think I've been, playing bat and ball with that question for a long time. I believe there is plenty of money, and it will come in. Yeah, it's a process to get to that, to have that as a free feeling more than a constructed feeling, I guess.
Okay. Because the fact is, you said it will come in. Then often we'll ask, how is it going to come in? Or if we shift our minds, I'm curious when money arrive, or
Yes.
I have money. In fact, three of us here are the top 20% most wealthy people on this planet. The fact that when you can get onto the Zoom call like this, you're the top 20% most wealthy people on this planet. So would you wake up every morning feeling I'm wealthy, or when I'm wealthy means it's not here? When is the future? Okay, because
No,
often
I feel comfortable now.
good. All right. So right now is the here and now what we focus means how are we going to draw the energy positively coming towards us? When we see money as an energy, is how are we going to attract that and let them sit with us? If there was more money coming your way, would you say, oh, that's enough, please don't come? Or would you be welcome and
I
grateful?
would, yes, absolutely. Because there's so much you can do with money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to use it all yourself. You can give it to others. That feeling of giving brings joy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. But first of all, when we want to give away money, is we need to have a good relationship with money. Some people are slave to money because they just want to that six figure. What Marjorie said, I don't want six figures business. It's not that she doesn't want. It's like, do I need it? I'm comfortable. My true calling is to build a community to help people on a healing journey. So it's very similar to mine as well, because when we first met we both live in Melbourne, but we met in Queensland. But the connection, the energy, we don't have to say a lot of work. We're just like, I feel this way. This is the way that I want to go. She's like, yep. And we just connected. Okay.
Mm.
So this is what we were going to do, is to help you to understand that what is that your belief about money in your subconscious mind, and what is it about your experience about money that have been deeply sitting in your unconscious mind that just for no reason, even you know that you would like to make more money, but somehow, I'll be a bit more direct, that we became self-sabotage. When there's opportunity, we actually, I might say no, or I'm just trying to help.
I definitely know I have 3 different things as to why money is an issue in my life. And one comes from childhood, one comes from my marriage, and one comes from my relationship. So, yeah.
Mm. Okay. All right. Maybe we just choose, which one would you choose to work on today? Childhood, marriage, or relationship? Because they are different layer.
Yeah, the childhood one is my grandfather didn't believe in banks, so he put all of his money in a potato sack, popped it in the hole in the wall in the shed.
Yep.
And I knew where that money was, and it was money that was supposed to go to my mother when he passed away. But my step grandmother took it and gave it to her children instead of giving it to my mother, which was my grandfather's sort of
His will.
to go. And so I just have this deep belief that people just take money from me because obviously that money was hers. It was also mine, because it was family money sort of thing. So I know that I feel that money is taken from me. And then, when there's the wrong charge in the bank statement, I feel that pain all over again. Or when somebody charges me the wrong amount, as in, a friend brought a drink for me a couple of weeks ago, and they charged him $20 for the drink, and I said, no, that's not right. You can't take that money. That's not the right amount. And I now spend more time addressing the taken money than I would like to, because it seems to happen. And I guess it's happening because it's floating there in the subconscious and it comes up inadvertently, and it's not dealt with. And I'm pretty much aware of that.
Good on you.
Yeah.
When you are aware of it, I can feel the emotional charge is still very intense.
Oh, it changed our lives. It was completely devastating to my parents and to our family. I was, this is in the mid 1970s, and it was $250,000. It's a lot of money.
Well,
A
it
lot
would
of
be
money.
$6 million to today's term.
That's right. It's quite a lot of money. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now you are aware of it. What do you think you could shift this thought that people takes money from you? I understand that there was a tragedy, to be honest. It was a trauma for you to watch adults who meant to be responsible
Yeah.
Step grandmom supposed to be also looking after your mother as well and you, because
Yeah.
that's why your grandfather wanted to remarry again. Like, let's put that aside, but like, it's, you know, for a natural human being, that is, we are out here to nurture. It's just like Marjorie, I'm here to help and nurture people, to build community. But right now, does it still happen to you on a daily basis that people take things from me? I kind of just put it, you know, in the, or would you like to, this negative core belief deep down here, people take monies from me or people take things from me? Which one would be more appropriate for you to?
Well, sometimes things equate to money, so it's probably more about the money.
More the money? Okay.
Hmm.
All right, let me do this. So it's more about the money.
Yeah.
How true is this statement? How true is this statement to your everyday life?
That people take money from me
Mm,
on an everyday basis. I don't know, probably 30% true.
30% true. So if you are going to operate on a 70 and 30%, like this, the balance here, because we
Mm.
have this belief, it's not just a thought.
Oh, I understand
Because
it's
you actually
totally
can feel,
irrational.
I can actually feel the frequency. Yeah. Now we are aware of it. It's like, you have the power to change this, and I'm here to guide you. Would you like to shift this energy? Because think about this analogy is, when we come from, you know, I was born in the 70s, so we all use soap when we were having a shower in the past, when we were young. There's no liquid, you know. But when we try to get the soap, it slip out of our hand, right? So as a child, have you ever tried to hold it really tight? When you hold it both hands so tight, and they still slip out of you. You experience that? So when we are holding on
Yes.
something so tight, they still escape. But when you hold it with a gentle, just even slightly handle the soap on your hand, and with an appropriate, you know, handling, you can wash yourself properly. Can you remember those scenarios? When we are holding something so tight, they slip out. So when we're holding on this 30% unconscious, you know, belief on a daily basis, it amplifies. It's actually more than 30%. So what is it that you think on your thought and belief or emotion could help you to slowly, I'm not saying after today it will disappear altogether. Okay. But what is it, something that you could help yourself to make a statement? People take money from me, or let's put it that way, to put a positive statement for yourself as an affirmation in the morning, that you can do affirmation. I am good at managing money. I am
I'm not going to allow people to take money from me.
I'm not going to allow people to take money from me. Okay, but that's still a negative. I'm not going to allow. But what is it, some sentence that you could help you to make a positive, that you become, as we said, you know, the science of discipline is, when we take small step, every morning is like, I am good at managing money, or what is it right now that, you know, about money and people? Because that's a bit more, because I understand in couple of your relationship that also quite a few trauma there as well. But as I said today, let's focus on one thing to peel the onion. With this childhood belief, what is it, one thing that you could frame it in a positive way for you?
I have a good relationship with money. Money flows easily to me.
Yes. Yes. How do you feel about it? How do you feel that I have good relationship with money and money flows to me?
Yeah, good.
I can feel the energy shift. Did you feel your body sensation and emotion shift as you say it out loud?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do say that from time to time in some meditations when we're doing meditations about money. Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel
Yeah.
that shift already. But How about if you were going to do it on a daily basis?
Oh, yeah, I could do the same mantra. That would be fine.
That became your
Um,
mantra? Okay. Now, have you heard this exercise from the Harvard Business School about the power pose?
The power pose, did you say?
Yep, the power pose.
No, I don't
Okay.
believe I have.
Yeah. All right. So what happened is, you know, Harvard Business School, they are one of the top business school in the world, and they do a lot of scientific research. And what's happened is, for each person, when we practice that at least twice a day with the powerful pose and affirmation, it became an anchor or mantra in the language. But in the business world, they talk about the affirmation and help us to anchor ourselves. So what happened is we can do this. All right. The power pose is either, when you see the athletes running across the finish line, what do they normally do? Do they still do this? Or they do this, right? How do you feel when you put up your hand when you're happy and winning or like achieving something? That's an achievement. What kind of signal do you think it will send to our body, right? So would you like to do this? Sorry, Denise, yep.
Joy.
Yep. All right. So this is the power pose. Or sometime when you feel that it's a nurturing pose, Denise will probably feel this with me like, we do a nurturing pose, have both hands holding close to our heart. When I feel that I need to be nurtured. For me, when I pray, I actually see myself sitting as a little, infant sitting on my Heavenly Father's palm that are being nurtured and cared for. So I do the power pose when I say affirmation that I'm loved, I'm enough, I'm worthy. I'll do something like in this action. Or for us ladies, some people are like, oh, that's not feminine. Or I said, no, it's not about feminine. But you can choose to be having a power pose that like a superwoman. I'm sure you all have seen superwoman's like movie. This is a pose that you can choose to do as well. So when you practice twice a day, morning and evening, and stand up, like your feet set apart, it's just almost like the same length with your shoulder, and as you stand it apart, is about our body posture. Okay, that is also scientifically proven that how we carry ourselves, it makes a lot of difference how we feel and how we think about ourselves. So shall we practice this together? So I have good relationship with I have good relationship with money and money flows to me. Would you like to do that? Let's stand up together.
Sure.
And stand up. We choose that, and you can repeat it as long as you like, up to 2 minutes. I normally do it 3 times. So I have good relationship with money and money flows to me. I have good relationship with money and money flows to me.
money flows to me. I have good relationship with money and money flows to me. I have good relationship with money and money flows to me. I have a good relationship with money and money flows to me. I have a good relationship with money and money flows to me. I have a good relationship with money and money flows to me.
You have to watch the replay, Denise.
I have a good relationship with money and money flows to me. Yes.
Can you see the shift? Can you feel the shift? And this the empowerment.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. All right.
Yeah.
Again, as I said, knowledge is important, but implementation makes it even 10 times, 100 times effective. Because, Marjolaine, as you observe what I went through with Denise exercise, what are your thoughts and learning?
Oh, great. That's why we put our hands up when we praise the Lord, eh?
Yeah.
It certainly is a physical and emotional and spiritual shift, yeah.
But did you feel that when she talked about her step grandmother, how she treated them?
Yeah, that was sad.
There was the sadness. It's like, it's so many years ago, but when we talk about something and it's still so much emotional charge, means our body cell are carrying on those.
Yeah.
But the question is, Denise, do you still want to carry on all these years hurt?
No, I don't. No, I don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably, I think this is a question you say, you are still looking for something. And this is one of the many answers that you're searching for. And then it's just like, the healing journey. The more we help ourselves to be healed, the more we will be moving forward and helping you to find your calling and your purpose in life. Is last weekend we went to Gold Coast. Actually, I led the ladies in the purpose-driven life, and there was so much breakthrough, and there was so much that we're looking forward to as in our sisterhood to build a community to support one another. And many of us are in different business and different profession. Oh, but actually, in fact, we have quite a few nurses in our container, Denise. So you probably
Oh.
will, yeah. So that is something for us that I'm so charged emotion because I love seeing this breakthrough. It's like, peeling the onions layer and layer. And again, for relationship, and you have mentioned a few things, it's not just with your ex-partner, but like with your children. So, but it's like, there is something that in my heart that I want to guide the ladies to go on this healing journey. Yes. Martin?
I have this really amazing scripture that I love. I just thought of it when you guys were just talking, and this is a real something to. I don't know where it is right now, but I know this is how it sort of goes. It goes, when we are free indeed. It's the freedom that I think is really powerful. When we are free indeed. Anyway, I could have a whole sermon on that, but yeah.
Magdalena, I just read that earlier in the week, actually. So
Wow.
It's very pertinent that you bring it up again, reinforcing it. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we know that this is meant to be our path to cross, and how, the Lord speak to us. It's not just we read the Bible and then we leave it, but like when we share, the message come across again, and this is a confirmation. When you are set free, you're free in Christ. He won't go back and say, oh, but you are still a sinner. No, when he forgive our sins, we are set free. And this is amazing. Thanks, Marjorie. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay, good. I want to respect your time because like we have shared so much, and I don't want to disrespect your time because I said it's 90 minutes, but we still have 15 minutes. I'm so happy because I love sharing, and even though I have notes, but doesn't mean that we have to follow it all the way through. Any question about this breakthrough? This is a mini breakthrough that I do in my 12 weeks container and the 12-month container as well. Because when you enter into my 12-month container, we actually have 2 full days of personal breakthrough to help you to move forward in life. So this is a taste of what you'll experience in the future with me. Okay. All right. So since we have been talking about discipline, the affirmation, you could add that as one of your morning ritual and evening ritual as well. And sometimes it's nothing wrong to do it more, 3 times a day. So I love to tell people like, when you are anxious, practice it, the breathing technique at least 3 times a day. And some of my clients, in psychology, I tell them like every hour, maybe just sit on the phone to remind yourself, breathe deeply. Okay. And nothing wrong to have your affirmation, a little sticker. I have all these little stickers sticking on my computer, on my wall. Okay. To have this affirmation to remind ourselves. This a more positive feeling or affirmation we feed ourselves on a daily basis. But why not 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Get outside, stand barefoot on the grass. You both have a very beautiful home, I know. On the grass and facing the sun. Remember serotonin, when we have more sunlight for our top, of our head, which I'm going to talk more about the energy center, which the Indian, tradition call about chakra, but it's the energy center is how we're going to look after ourselves to help us to really connect our body, our soul, and spirit together. Okay, so it's like every day I add on something extra. Okay, so anyone would object that, all successful people do not have discipline. When you come to think about Oprah, Serena Williams, Martha Stewart, these all 3 ladies are very famous. Do you think they do not have self-discipline, or they have a very strong discipline? Because when I went through Oprah, and everyone know Oprah, right? How successful and capable she is, and how unfortunate her background was as well, where she came from as a American ladies in America. But to today's, her empire is worth of $1 billion. Yes, in the sense that we equate money to success, but it's not necessary. But I look at her success is more about how she actually helping so many people on this, or most of it, on this planet. But when I read about her discipline, is even her 2 dogs are disciplined. When she woke up, she go and brush her teeth. Her 2 dogs would not come and nag her. Anyone have pets at home? When you wake up, your pet come and say, feed me, feed me, feed me. Her 2 pet dog actually sit by her side, wait until she finish brushing her teeth before she go into the kitchen to feed them. Isn't that amazing? All right. So you agree that this self-discipline is enough, important. So this is what I would encourage you to continue to have the self-discipline of your morning ritual and evening ritual as well. And throughout the day, remember self-love, self-care. Don't wait till every 3 months I take a weekend off. It is a daily investment that we invest into ourselves to take a break. Remind ourselves to take deep breath, to nurture ourselves. Okay. It's just like last night we talk about, in my container is like we talk about self-care about our body. We're talking about touching, how possibly we create a sensory system to nurture ourselves. We don't have to rely on people or even rely on our pet. We can nurture ourselves by self-soothing and increase our sensory. Okay, so are you guys ready that every morning you're going to set your intention, pretty much that equate to setting up your success for the day? Are you guys committed to that?
Yeah.
Right. Good. So what is important is that self-discipline is when you come to meditation, it will become your second nature. So you guys said already, you guys do meditation every morning?
Every day.
Good. So do you realize that the day that you haven't have a chance to do meditation, you feel like a bit of unease? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Something is missing. So that's very much is like it come to like a self-discipline. But when we use meditation as example, we become have the self-discipline. And have you realized that since you started meditation, your willpower actually becomes stronger?
Yeah.
And have you realized that? No?
No, I haven't noticed that, but I hadn't been looking for it either.
Mm.
I had other changes that I've noticed more about meditation than willpower.
Okay. All right. So maybe we'll put a little bit more attention at that. So that's why, as we write on the reflection, write down how we have grown, what we are grateful for. And when you look back, don't just write your diary, read back every 2 weeks and see how you have traveled along. Okay. And how about less stress, Denise? Since you're practicing meditation, have you become noticed that you like, is it less stress about on your everyday life?
I probably care less about the stress. I don't know if there's less stress, but I care less about it.
Okay, understand that. All right. So the fact is, now we understand that how important it is to have self-discipline, right? Any question about self-discipline as we add on to today? Because often ladies tell me that I need more motivation. Okay. But in fact, when we have self-discipline, it outweighs the motivation that we needed from externally or internally. When we are disciplined, our body and our mind is very naturally will sit down and get things done. So that self-discipline is actually going to bring us into your habit. What is this one habit you want to start today that will help you to get you a step or two closer to your horizon or your goal? I'm more would like to see that you guys would know where your horizon is. But if not, Denise, this is where I will help you to discover that as well. Because this self-discipline will become your habit. How many of us actually is a left-hander and brushing our teeth? No one? Or we are right-hander? So this is a habit, right? But I challenge you, if you're tomorrow when you wake up, or even tonight, use your left hand to brush your teeth to get out of your comfort zone. And you will see what I meant by having a good habit is something that will become our second nature. When you brush your teeth, you can look around and looking what's happening. But do you think you will have missed brushing one of your teeth or your two? When you're driving, it's become your habit to driving the same road, the same route, going back home, but you actually can listen to radio. You actually can talk. You shouldn't be talking on the phone, but a lot of us do talk on the phone or taking notice what in our surroundings. Because that's one habit that you've been so used to do too. Okay. So what is one good habit you have been building for yourself?
That we have inbuilt for
Yep.
ourselves.
Yep.
One that's already been done, already
Yeah.
been a habit.
Yeah.
Drinking water, brushing our hair.
Very, very good. Okay.
Having a shower, so many things.
Yep. So means self-care as well.
Mm.
Keeping a good hygiene is a self-care. So what is one new habit that you would like to start today?
Finishing my to-do list.
Yeah.
And maybe I shouldn't make it so long. It's like goes over the page onto the next page.
Yeah.
But I have so much to do, and I say that with Jess because I know that probably the next 3 weeks it's very, very busy doing all of that, and then after that, by Christmas, I should be able to have a more realistic to-do list. Yeah. And some things may drop off of it, but like the ironing may drop off of it, which just means I can't wear 2 dresses I'd like to wear. But yeah, I think that for me, that's the thing that I'm working on at the moment, is to get everything onto the to-do list in the first place, and to attempt everything and do that. Not just the 3 most important things at the top of it, because there needs to be 10 on my to-do list to do. But to probably be able to move things along to the next day or just for the week, that I can do later when all the other more important things. I'm very aware of the making a list of things that are urgent and important. So giving a score of 1 to 4 for urgency and 1 to 4 for importance. So if something comes up with 2 1s, that's the first thing that needs to be done. If something comes up with 2 4s, it can probably go onto tomorrow's list rather than today's list. So I'm aware of that system. I've used that quite a bit over the years. I'm currently, thanks to you, doing a more concise list, whereas before I would just scribble on a scrap piece of paper and the things that were important, and then there were activities of daily living, like for instance the ironing was something that I would just do automatically, as well as I would dressing, showering, combing my hair, all that sorts of stuff. But now I'm writing those little mundane things on the list as well, because that the ironing has been overlooked for a little while. Here in Darwin, nobody irons anything. I'm a little bizarre in ironing stuff up here, but I like my clothes pressed. Yeah. So there's that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, good on you. That's a habit about ironing, because my habit became, I'll just make sure that I buy clothing that doesn't need iron.
I
That's
like
my
to buy
choice.
clothing. I like clothes that I like. So if they need ironing, well, I'll pay that price. I don't.
Yeah. So that's where we say money gives us choices. Time is precious, but could you outsource those ironing to someone else? Then you can focus on higher tasks for yourself. But that's something we could talk on Monday on our, your 90 days game plan, which means you could be more efficient in wanting to achieve what you need to achieve, because we all only have one pair of hands. We all only have 24 hours. But what is it that some people could achieve more in certain area? And where this, like for us, it's like, I feel like I'm floundering every day, even though I have tried a lot of different systems. But that could be one thing. It's up to you, Denise, to choose. So Marjorie, we haven't booked a call on Monday, but we could organize that as well. So coming towards the end, how do you feel about your discipline and commitment in your everyday life? After today, what you have learned and what you have discovered that sometimes we do not have full control about our mind, because a lot of us in our unconscious mind that impacting on our decision and our behavior. So today, are you guys making a commitment to yourself? When we are aware of something, we will start to investigate and invest into it to help you to overcome your challenge. Are you making a commitment to yourself? When you are when you are aware or discover something is not quite working and is holding you back, are you making a commitment to yourself? You start today to help you to take the first step. Good. Fantastic, because success is not overnight. Okay. To live an abundant life is not that we're not abundant. We are abundant in many ways. However, building abundance and prosperity, it does not happen overnight. It takes practice, starting from our heart and our mind first. And that's a process. And that is something that, do you want to do it alone, or you want to travel with someone who would be by your side and providing guidance and having you to have accountability? So that is something for you guys to think about overnight. Are you making a commitment to make those changes or making those shifts? And are you going to travel on your own, or are you going to have someone by your side to guide you and support you and for you to be accountable to? All right. So it's something for you guys to think about and ponder. Last but not least, this is your homework. All right. I know Marjorie and Marie are waking up early, but this is how I'm going to help you to make the shift. Okay. To wake up 20 minutes earlier. All right, Denise, I know that sometimes you have to wake up or stay up late to watch your American course, is it? So, but this is a
English,
discipline.
yeah.
Yeah. So the fact is, what happened is when we say, oh, I just need to get up an hour earlier so that I'll be able to do extra things for myself. But our brain doesn't happen that way. We have resistance. That's why I'm adding 15 minutes to get your body to get used to it. And these 2 days, get up extra 5 minutes early to help yourself to set your intention, get your daily morning routine get started. And then in the evening, you write down your reflection. What did you do well? Okay. And then the homework is actually today, this will be posted in the Facebook group as well, and you'll be tagged. Okay. Share 3 things about you, not anyone else, not about your family. 3 things about you that you are grateful for. Okay. So we are as a sisterhood, we travel together. So post that in the Soul Journey Facebook group. You can make a post. What are the 3 things that you're grateful for about yourself? Okay. And share that in the Facebook group so we could celebrate with you, because we are not meant to be alone. Okay. Now, any questions so far, or any feedback, or what? Any question? I'll just ask one question at a time. No questions?
No.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Now, then, last question for you. What are the biggest takeaway for you today? What are your biggest takeaway today?
My affirmation, I suppose. Definitely.
Definitely. Great. I'm so grateful that, you're open and being vulnerable to share, because it's not
You
easy.
don't grow if you don't become vulnerable. You don't share.
Definitely.
You end up with a perspective from your own point of view. And really, sometimes I'm not my best friend. I tell myself things I don't really need to hear. Or I shouldn't be telling myself. So it's much better to share. Somebody will tell you what you really need to hear, rather than the story you want to tell yourself. because, you know, I've been telling myself stories for 64 years. A lot of them are just lies, you know, so it's a great idea to share, then you get a better perspective, a different perspective, and maybe a more realistic perspective. Thank you.
Mm, mm. You're welcome. I'm so proud of you, and I'm also very humble that you you have trusted in me to open up to share, and I am able to help you to take a step further. And I think this breakthrough is actually going to set you up for your success in the coming year.
I believe so.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Marjolein, what's your biggest takeaway today?
Oh, just overall, the unconscious and and I really like the little diagram, and I put that down.
Mm,
I think the small shifts are big in the long run.
exactly. It's the 2 millimeter shift that we take each day.
Yeah, definitely. If you take too big a dip, you just go backwards, and then you just never add to that shift.
Yeah.
Because I take a group as well, as you probably know, I'm really busy. But one thing I said to my group, if you can imagine a man, a farmer, going out of his house in a tractor, in his car, you know how it's already a line that keeps going, and it's hard to make that shift because he just does that automatically. But if you move just a little bit every day, you will get out of the rut. You know, the rut. You just need to focus on moving a little bit. And I think you mentioned that in your last the last time on Monday, that habit. There's a book called the something habit. You mentioned it. Oh, I can't think
The
of
7
it.
days habit? Or
No, it's you called it atomic habit, or is it the guy?
atomic habit.
Atomic habit.
So it's a tiny little habit to build us to, So that's a book actually called Make Your Bed in the Morning.
Oh, yes,
So
that's right. Yes.
First thing to build that, you achieve something first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Is that from the PDS? Oh, sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No, it's you can actually listen to it online. It's only 5 hours. Make your bed. But my husband takes that group with me, and he listened to it. So I've always been wanting to actually listen to it or read it or whatever.
So what you can do is I actually have an app. Where's my app? Gone, not here. It's an audio book that I listen to, and they have a lot of all these good books. Because like there's quite a lot of old books that actually in my
I've got that app too. I have to get onto getting my points, but I've let it go. It's $16 a month, and I wasn't reading as much or listening because I'm more of a visual learner. So I've got a few points left, and I want to actually just listen to that one before I start again.
No, you don't have to go to Audible. I have an app that I just pay at. I don't want to pay monthly because it becomes so, in a sense, that it's not worth it to. But once I find it out, I'll let you guys. Because I reset my phone, so that is one of the app that it disappear in my app that I pay one fee, probably about $10-15, and then you can go in and listen to all these different books, and that's where the Atomic Habit is a summary. So I listen to the books when they summarize for me, so 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
So when I drive to do pick up and drop off, I listen. So because you sit in the car, you're waiting in the queue. I mean, you both don't need to do pick up anymore, but like you could feel my pain.
I was a taxi driver. Yeah.
I know. So I listen to books, and when I find that it's really interesting, then I go and read the book, because when I lose interest, I won't continue to start, reading or things like that.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's send that when you.
Is it audible or is it visual?
Audible. You can read or you can listen as well.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I paid for that book, but now that's the thing, when you reset your phone, something disappearing. Anyway, I better go. So I'll see you guys on Friday. Okay, Denise, I'll see you on Friday. And
Yeah, I actually got a client on Friday at that time, so I'll
okay.
listen to it. Yeah, because I'm just
Denise, I'll see
know.
you. I'll just organize an appointment with Marjorie. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all right.
Bye.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
All right, thank you. I've got to go.
Okay. So I text you to make a time on Monday for your one-on-one.
Yeah, I've got my grandchild on Monday, but
Yep.
I will work it out that I.
Do you have him all day or?
I have him all day, but I have my husband here, so it depends on, we can, like, it just depends. So that's why I couldn't make it on Monday. And
Yeah, fair enough.
because he'll just disturb me. So I'll when he leaves, I watched it and I was then able to.
Yep.
Yeah.
What time does he leave?
He leaves. I drop him off at 5.
Would you like to meet at 5:30 or 6 o'clock on Monday?
Yeah, that's great. Make it 5:30 or
On Monday.
Yeah. 5:30.
Yep. Okay. I'll see you on Monday at 5:30. But then you watch the replay on Friday as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. Have a good day. I'll also
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.